Hey, dear friends, welcome to the channel. I'm so excited to be here today, and of course, with another video talking about the parents and how we can be good parents and be in a position to raise great children. And there we are contributing to making our country a great country in that way. So, what do I mean by raising good children? And what is something important that we as the parent we should always be conscious about? When I mean conscience, I just want to be how can we be very careful when we're raising the children as early as possible so that we don't worry when they are growing up. And this is very biblical. I didn't put this in the Bible just today so that I can talk about it, but it has been there for long. So it's more like train your children in a good way or show them the way so that when they grow up, they will never live this way. But we as the parents nowadays, we are not showing the children the way, but we expect them to behave the best way. So is that something possible for sure? Or it is not possible? Because there is this proverb in Kinyarwanda that when you are trying to make a tree grow straight, eh, you help it when it is still small. And that tells us a lot. It's just the two times from the biblical way, from our cultural experience, we should raise children as good as possible so that the more they grow, we don't less worries we have about them, and then the more we solve these problems. And so what I'm asking you today is just ask yourself a question. Am I doing the best way to raise my child so that I will never have to worry as they keep growing in the future? Or I still have the struggle to find a way to give them the best way. And I mean, if it is not your fault today, if your child is not behaving the way you expect, it might be your fault if you know that there is some potentials or some responsibilities that you should have taken and you're not taking them. So now let's talk about the responsibilities and how we can take more care for our children so that we don't really mind about them growing up and taking their own journeys of lives and then becoming the best citizens and contributing a lot to our community. So, before I continue, I want to ask you a favor. Please, if this is your first time and you love this video and it adds a value to your life, why don't you do subscription so that you just support the show to grow and reach to more people? We are talking to more than 60 people already, and I believe this is the best way. So let's keep growing and let's keep supporting each other so that we can build this. I call this a school because we are learning so much. And some of the lesson here, you might not even find them in any school environment because like most of the teacher have not lived the experience that the average person is living in. So, all right. So the question that many people ask me is like, okay, we know you want us to raise children and you want us to be there for them. So how do we be there for them? And my answer is, all right, there's a lot of things that you can do for the children to make them happy. That's one thing. And many parents think that if they made their children happy, their children are going to turn out to be good children. And they think that they are going to be good in a way that they are paying them back the good thing they did to them. And then when they behave well, they are paying them back. But I want to tell you the truth. That's not real. If you're trying to be a nice parent, this is not going to work. Why? Because your children don't value the things that you do to them as you being nice to them. They don't value them. Why? The children that you're doing two good things to them. Maybe you're buying this, you're buying this, you're taking them there and here. You give them money. I don't know how old they are, and even if they know the value of money, I don't even know if they need the money. But you're trying to do everything that would make you a very good and responsible parent, and you believe like, oh yes, my kid doesn't need anything. I'm always ready to provide anything. So you're providing too much already, but at the supplies, you find that your child is still behaving like any other child who has not got anything. You still see them misbehaving in front of you, and you'll be like, why am I doing this? Why should I keep doing this? That is the issues that the parents get. But I want to tell you one secret on that. It is because your children, the things they value at their age are different from the things you value at your age. So giving things, many things to to the children, and you give them relevant things. You know, when you're taking them out, they don't know the difference between being at home and going out, and why. And they don't even know if you paid for them to go out. So how do you want them to value that? When you use money to buy them something, they don't know if you use the money to buy something. They might even see you paying, but they don't know the value of the money that you're paying. They don't know the difference between 1 million and 1,000. They don't know. They don't even know how much money you make and then how much money you take so that you can take care of them. So they don't know how much. So for you as an adult, our memories and brain work differently, and the mindset work differently. So the mindset you have regarding money, regarding resources, regarding time are different mindsets that the children have regarding those resources that we value so much. And so in your own ways, your position should always trying to put yourself into the mindset of a child. There are so many books that you can go and read and talk about that, and you'll be ready to, to get some insights on how to do that. But from here, I'm just giving you, I'm just alerting you on what would be good and what would be doing in order to make this possible. So when you try to live like this adult mindset, then you know what the kid need. They probably need a toy of, 1,000 instead of taking them to a resort where you pay 50,000. They probably need time to just play with their friend than, taking them to a concert, to a hotel, you know. They probably need to just sit outside and play with the mud, than just taking them to a movie theater. Such things, this is being inexpensive, but it's being important to them because that's what they need. So don't confuse the money you use to take care of your children, the resources and time you put in to give you the result of having a better child. It is different. And why? Because the things we value as adult people, they're different from the things the children value. All right, so now we are going to talk about another important aspect of parenting. Don't confuse the time that the children are doing a mistake and the time they are learning how to do the mistake. This is the number one cause of failure for the parents. So the number one cause of failure for the parents is what? Is confusion of learning and experiencing and putting into action. So the child that is doing something today Maybe take an example. You send your child maybe to buy something, and they reach there, they hang out with their friends, and they come late. This is not something that they are just learning to do. This is something that they know how to do. They have mastered how to do it, but maybe they were not allowed to go outside. But they knew it is something you do. Sometimes it is the best way to solve this. When you, as the family, you decide to behave the best way, you give an example. I mean, you live the role model life, and then the children are going to know exactly how to behave and how to take care of the time of the things that you do around. So the children start learning when they see you at home and they see what you do. So what you do means so much than what you tell to children. I think this is one thing that really contradicts with what would be in the Bible. Maybe I don't remember if it is in the Bible. Somewhere people misinterpret something and say, the fathers would say, do what I say and don't do what I do. But I believe when it comes to the family, it's my son is gonna do and behave the way I behave, no matter what happens. Or they are going to learn how to behave according to how I behave. They might not behave the way I behave, but they might learn how to behave just the way I behave. Maybe I come late because I'm watching football, Manchester, Man City, and Man U, and other, teams I don't know, and other Champions League, I don't know them. Then I come late at home. My son might learn like coming late at home is not a problem. He might come late, not watching football, maybe drinking, hanging out with their friend. They learned how I behave, so coming late. But they are not doing what I've been doing, but they are doing something else. But that gives the same results. The whole point is coming late. What you were doing doesn't really matter in that position, if that is what you're looking for. But you, as the parent, you have a lot of the capacity, you have a lot of the understanding. So why would you put your child in a way that they learn something wrong while you're there? It is because we don't know when the children are going to start learning from us. So the moment you saw your baby, you guys, I have a baby twins. They are no longer babies, actually turning 3 years just next month. But I've learned how they behave. I was like, wow, that's really fascinating. There are things we like to say, that's what they are saying. There are things we like to watch, that's what they want to watch. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I am the one who's the problem causer in this house. Why? Because there's a time we used to sit and be like, oh, you guys know what like the favorite comedy we raise young boys and uh, we like to watch something with them, and then we're like, oh, what did you learn from the comedy? How was it? What do you think someone did wrong or did better? And then our baby twins are watching, and they start also wanting like to watch that. I'll be like, oh, we are very excited. We are going to watch the show. I was like, oh my God, that's really bad. So when I learned that, I was like, oh my God, that's a mistake probably for millions and millions of parents. And that lesson gave me a lot of insights on how to protect the children to make sure that they grow up with values and behaviors that we can say, okay, we want you to behave like that. And that will put you in a position where you can be able to make better decisions and follow the choices. So that's like the number two things that really cause the parents to fail to raise good children. I want to talk about the third one. And the third one goes close to this, but goes into more of community thing. So as a parent, we have community. And the community, I don't mean like physical community, or people you want who are neighbors. It can be the people who are your friends. No matter whether they're in Rwanda, they're in Kigali, they're near, Burundi, Kenya, East Africa, or they're overseas, US, Europe, and you will know. So the children believe that their parents are the best friends and they are best healers of their lives. So the people that you hang out with will influence indirectly your children. Why? If they like the way your friends live, they're probably going to like their behavior and how, they live their life. And they will be attracted to doing what they are doing so that they become what they became. So be more mindful and be very protective when you're bringing people into your family, when you're bringing people close to your family. Sorry, guys. So this will help you to protect your children to run from these people whom you don't know where they got their behavior. So I want to thank you so much, and I hope this has given you the chance on how to become a better parent. Thank you so much.